What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about a handful of stocks today. We're going to be going over AI, TTD, CVNA, UPST, and ASTS, all at the request of Tony Tacos. And without any further ado, let's get into it. So if you could hit that like button, that'd be much appreciated. We're going to do some technical analysis. Let's get into it. There's that. Let's make this. There we go. Oh, I'm a little bit frozen. There we go. All right. Okay. Top to bottom on AI. This is AI. I made sure it's the right one, C3-AI. That's what you wanted. Relative high to low. You did find resistance on your 0.5. You came all the way back down, though, and held this pretty well. You are above your 236. I do like that. The daily RSI looks kind of productive, honestly. You're more or less in like this consolidation range right here. If you can get back above this 382 at about $30.93, essentially $31, that's when I would get excited. Until then, you know, the downside is very real potential. You do have a flattened base here with sending highs. It's not necessarily a friendly thing, but you do have the opportunity, in my opinion, to continue building higher. But let's just see how it plays out. Let's look at the weekly. I mean, I have no problems with the weekly. Yes, you broke out of this like initial move, like to the downside kind of, but overall you still have higher lows. You're holding key areas of support, in my opinion, and you had a very positive reaction last week. So with not a whole lot of volume, but more volume than you've seen in over a month, almost like 2 months time. So not bad. Above the 50 on the RSI. I don't know a lot about this thing, right? I don't know anything about it really, just the chart. But looking at it from top to bottom, this does look relatively productive. You know, if you can get right there, that $31 area, if you can get above there, you're probably making your way up to like $61 to $75. That'll be your next pit stop, right? You found your first pit stop at the 382, pulled back, okay? You messed around with it for a little bit, but you pulled back, went below your 236. Then your next stop was the 0.5. Now you're below your 382. I would assume if you can get above there and sustain above there, likely your next stop will be the 618. 618-69 area. So I actually do like it. I do think it looks good, but that can change. You know, all it would take really to change that is get any day to close below about $25. You get a day to close below about $25 and it's on. Maybe a little bit lower as far as days go. Maybe $24. $23.88 specifically. But that's AI. Let's move on from there to TTD, the trade desk. I remember this. Oh, what? Why do I know this stock? What is it? What? I don't remember. I feel like I remember when this thing came out. Yeah, 26. I remember when this thing came out, man. Anyways, going up. Are they involved with crypto? They might. Like, that's the only. I mean, not the only way that I would know of it, but anyways, top to bottom here. RSI on the weekly is whatever. It's kind of neutral, not really good, not really bad. Hit your 618 on the dot, came back down for a double bottom. Now you went above your 618 all the way up to your 786, finding support on the 0.5. I would think all in all you do want to make ways to new all-time highs, probably at 152 to 220, assuming everything goes good with this company, and like something horrible doesn't happen, right? They just lose their ass one day or something like that. But it does look good. It does look pretty good. You do have lower highs, but you actually have a higher low here, which is different through the rest of this trend. You might be getting ready to move up. Let's look at the daily. The daily RSI looks a little bit more productive. Rather neutral still, but a little bit more productive. I think the ball is in the bull's court. I think you want to move up from here. Kind of a double bottom there. Yeah, I think this thing wants to go up. Good choices here, man. Top to bottom, above your 382, found support on your 236 after rejecting your 382. Now you're above it to close the week. I do, man. I really do think you're going to go higher. Yeah. We'll see you above $100 at your next stop. Whenever you break this downtrend, odds are you're going to do this kind of maneuver all the way up, right? It's going to be up and down, very volatile, but like steady paced, kind of how it does most of its time, right? It's not going to be a straight line up to these levels and up to new all-time highs, but over time it'll feel like that, you know. Just like this wasn't a straight line down, but more or less week after week, you know, even though it went up and down, it was getting lower lows and lower highs, you know. Now I think you are getting ready to move up higher. Immediately what I would look for is probably something at like $103 to $120 area. Maybe you consolidate up there for a little bit, or maybe just break straight through and you proceed to go up to that $150 to $200 area or higher. You know, your minimum target from the all-time high to your relative like macro low here 1272, right, with the 2272, 1618 all the way at 221, something like that. You could go as high as about $300, but let's see how this thing goes first with this $100-$120 area, and I do think you're going there. So that's TTD. Let's do CVNA. Carvana, look at you choosing some not bad looking charts. Man, this weekly RSI kicks ass. You want to know what a good weekly RSI looks like? That's it right there, man. Very hot, very overbought. You cooled way the hell down, still maintaining this uptrend, like this upward trending channel. It looks really good, man. No, this is not an inverse head and shoulders. It looks very much like an inverse head and shoulders, but those do not happen at the top. They happen at the bottom. So I don't know what this is. I really don't know what to call it. This could have been a real setup for a pretty strong M pattern, but last week seems to have diverted that possibility. With the exception of like next week having a complete reversal or like finishing out the month significantly lower than this. I think you're getting ready to move up higher, man. I really do like this weekly RSI. The daily looks good too. I mean, you're probably getting ready to move up, man. Let's see. That's not what I wanted. Relative high to low, pulled back to your 618. Yeah, see you at $70 to $94 or higher, probably even higher than that in a very short amount of time. Let's look at this thing on a monthly. Top to bottom. 618 resistance. You've been holding it there, huh? Yeah, you're probably going to go above $100 before long. When you break that 618, when you break $63.50, you're going to go up to like 140, if not higher, in a very short amount of time. I say very short amount of time. It's going to take several months, but that's really not that long for something that's going to pull like probably a 3x, a 2 to 3x, something like that. It looks good. I like it. I really do like it. Again, the only thing that would convince me that everything I've said is wrong up until this point would be a major reversal. If next week you got some kind of bearish mishap, just like this, right? Like you had a bullish week here. It looked really good, same kind of area even, and then you just didn't get continuation. You were held down by this area of resistance, and then you had a very strong bearish reversal candle, and ultimately it didn't produce much, right? But if you see something like that this time around, that you would very likely go lower than this. That would set up this M pattern idea, and you would probably go at least all the way back to like $13, potentially down to like $6, man. At your best case scenario, $20, but that's not what I'm thinking right now. Again, if you can't get above these areas in like the next couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that, then I'd be concerned. But just because you don't get above them next week doesn't mean it's bad, but I would like to see you continuing. If you close below 41.60, that's when you're in trouble. Yeah, on a weekly basis, even on a daily basis probably. Now, talking about UPST, Upstart, is that what it is? Yeah, Upstart. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Upstart Holdings. Yeah, the last time I looked at this was like the end of the bull market for Bitcoin and for this thing apparently. Top to bottom, this fib really isn't doing it for me. That one kind of is. That's kind of a nice look, not gonna lie. I don't normally draw fibs like this, but hey man, if you're showing respect on it, it might be worth respecting, Let's get a better look at this. On a weekly basis on the RSI does look really nice, bouncing off the 50, previous areas of resistance here, previous area of support here. It looks like you're holding it, looks good. Maybe the relative fib is something we could take. High to low. Yeah, you're definitely respecting that. Anytime you see significance around your 618, 69 area, that's some respect, man, for sure. And I mean, you can see it, right? These weeks, they're literally closing at the 618. Sure, it went up a little bit higher, but you're closing right there. Holding support at the 382. Yes, you went below it, but you closed at it like throughout all these weeks. So, yeah, this looks good. You're probably going up to $103 to $161 in a very short amount of time. That's your next move. All of these look good, man. I don't think I've had a single person request 5 stocks and every single one of them looks good. We're at a different time in the market. A lot of stocks, the stock market looks good. That could be part of it, but to be completely fair, everything does look really good, man. Good choices. 33.90 going up to like over $100. That's some solid gains, and it probably will be a move just like this move, right? Like you can see, you're when you're moving up, even this little thing here, like you like to do it in strides, so you're probably going to move up there. I would think you might make it there sometime in the second half of this year, if not right around the halfway point of this year. It probably won't be a straight line, but more or less, man, more or less, it's probably going to happen. This thing only knows one speed, man, very fast. It's very fast, and then it's resting, and it's very fast, and then it's resting, right? Let's look at the daily. I like the daily. I do. Yeah, I think you're going up, man. Looks good. Okay, let's finish this up with ASTS. You wanted me to do a 10-year prediction on this, and I've never had someone ask for something that far out. This thing better have at least a decade's worth of historical data. It doesn't. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you right now, I can't do on something like this that is younger than most cryptos. And this isn't a crypto, but it's younger than most cryptocurrencies. That's saying something, man. I can't do a 10-year prediction on this, unfortunately. I could maybe do a 1-year. Maybe. And you want to know my prediction? This is actually the only one out of all of them that I have no hope for. Yeah, I don't like it. I actually really don't like it. You probably go up from here. In the more immediate term, you're at 343. I doubt you get above this high, just as you failed to get above any other high. You likely will take out this low. Let's see what its market cap is. What's that coming in at? Man, that's a screen of green right there. Look at that. Wow. All right, sorry. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Market cap, 859 million. Yeah, you could drop a lot more. Absolutely you could. Low to high here. Not really. I mean, yeah, kind of, but not really. Let's see. If you're to repeat yourself, you'll probably go to $1.57. You'll see like a 50% or more drop from the current prices. Now, again, immediately, I think you do go up. But I'm not a fan of this monthly RSI. I'm not a fan of the price action. Yeah, weekly has hidden bearish divergence, rejecting the green line. Bouncing off the oversold zone. Again, I think you do go higher from here. I'm not convinced that you see higher highs. Convince me that I'm wrong. You're going to have to get a higher high, but that's a lot of work. You're going to basically have to do a 100% growth from here. Until then, until you take out this high, you're destined for a lower low. I just gave you a compliment, and then you do this to me. Come on, Tony. No, that's okay, man. Literally, I would have been surprised if every single one of them looked good. And to be completely fair, this one does look good in the more immediate term, but in the long term, probably not as good. You wanted a 10-year analysis. I can't really give that to you, unfortunately. I can't really even give you like a year analysis because it's if we were to base it off of what it's done historically, right? It's basically just been in this downtrend its whole life. So 10 years from now, it'll be like based off of this. We'll see you somewhere. I can't even get there, man. Let's see. With that trajectory, 30, 20, 34. It's even off the charts, man. I can't do it. You're going to be below 50 cents at that trajectory, but probably not. Can it go to its all-time highs? Sure, maybe. It's possible. I don't know anything about this thing, but what I do know is the price action says it likes to go down, right? It's a very tradable, to be fair, even though it does like to go down, it's a very tradable stock. It might not be something you want to hold for a long time, but if you get in at the right points, like now even, let's say you're wrong. Let's say you buy here, and instead of it going up here, it sees a lower low. Well, it probably won't be too dramatically lower. Even at a 50% drop, it'll still probably come back to prices that are above this. Even if it's like way out here, you still have decent chances of finding a high above $4. So, and then you could sell it. Buying here, selling above $4, and then waiting for it to go back below $3 to buy there, and then this is a pretty tradable coin. It looks. Or not coin, stock, I'm sorry, but I can't really be of more help than that. You got a lot of volume down here initiating this move. You're not getting, yeah, you're getting decent volume coming up, but I don't think it's anything special. I think you will promote a lower high and just continue working your way down. That's my genuine opinion. So if you like this video, hit that like button. Out of all of them, ASTS, not my favorite, but it could be. You know, even though it's going down again, it's a pretty tradable stock, it seems. And then, I don't know, if there was a winner, probably Upstart, man. Upstart or Carvana looks pretty good, but I might say Upstart. It looked like it had the most potential for growth. So that's all I got to say. If you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.